Hi everyone, welcome and welcome back again to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you guys how the Nigerian system failed me in a country that I don't know about and how someone saved me. If you're new here, my name is Zina. Thank you so much. The video where I told you guys that I missed my flight. So let me tell you guys how it happened. So in that video, I told you guys they delayed the flight for 30 minutes, and I didn't tell you guys was that they also delayed it for another 30 minutes, so for an hour, yeah. And because that place was so cold, and like you seen my relocation vlog from Lagos to London and London to Houston, Texas, I didn't have a jacket. Like that was one of the mistakes I made. I didn't have a jacket and I was really cold. So let me just backtrack here. The initial boarding for that flight was for 9:30 to take off by 10, and I was seated down with every other passenger, right? And then they said, due to operational reasons, your flight has been delayed for 30 minutes. Please don't go far. If you go far, you will not hear us calling passengers to board the flight, or you will not know when the flight will take off. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to go anywhere, even though that place was very cold. I stayed put, like I was still seated on my chair. Then it didn't take them up to 5 minutes. The lady there then said that due to operational reasons, I'm sorry to tell you guys that the flight has been delayed for another 30 minutes, yeah? And at this point, I'm like, okay, 1 hour flight delay. I can't sit here for so long. It was so cold, like I'm going to get cold and all of that. I said, okay, let me just go down and get myself a latte and also maybe edit my previous video. It was about 10 minutes to 11 o'clock. That was 1 hour later. I came up, went to the restroom, used the restroom, and I was running to catch the flight. Yeah, I'm going to put up a clip for those that haven't watched the travel vlog. You guys, I'm going to start boarding. Like after 1 hour flight delay, I'm about to go start boarding. Like there's a queue there, so let us go quickly so that we don't miss our flight to Houston, Texas. The funny part was that I went to another queue that was going to Athena, right? And when I was on that line, somebody told me to look at the board, like the flight time, name, the state, the country, and it was Athena. I then asked one white guy, please, where this flight going to? He told me, and I was shocked because I knew that the flight to Houston, Texas was going on that particular floor, but I knew that it was not that particular place. So my mind was like, okay, maybe they've changed the gate, right? Because the initial gate was for 8:10 and where I was actually 8:12. So when he told me that this flight is not going to Houston, Texas, I knew that something bad had happened, but I just kept cool. Actually, I didn't keep cool. I was just so sad. And I went forward to look for my flight. And so I just saw one BA, British Airway lady, the person in charge of the airline and all of that. I asked her, sorry, please don't be offended. The flight going to Houston, where is it? Like, have they taken off? Like, where is the flight? And she told me, I'm sorry, they just took off. And I'm like, they just took off? But it was said that it was delayed by 1 hour. She then told me no, that boarding started by 10:15 and they took off by 11 o'clock. I'm like, wow, like really? Like what? So you mean that, because when they told us that the flight was going to be delayed, the first delay, it was by 10:02, exactly 10:02, because that was when I vlogged saying that the flight has been delayed, like really, like mad, oh, yeah. You guys, flight has been delayed. Crazy, like mad, oh. And That means immediately I left, after like 5 to 10 minutes, they started boarding, and I did not know. Like, I did not know, and I don't know whether it's my fault. Maybe it was actually my fault. I want to take some blame because one of my AirPods was in my ear, but the other one was empty, just so that I could hear when they start boarding. But apparently I did not hear it because it was maybe the sound or the mic was not loud enough. I told the lady, but it was said the flight will be delayed for an hour, and she said no, that it was going to take off in an hour. I'm like, am I saying something different? Like, did I not hear the same thing that other people heard? Apparently, it was not only me that missed that flight, but it was only me that had trouble paying for a new flight. I'm going to get to that very soon. So she said, I'm sorry that it just took off 3 minutes ago, you're late. And I'm like, okay, thank you so much. Where can I ask some questions? Then she told me you have to go to the BA, British Airway airline customer service. And I'm like, okay, thank you so much. And then that was when I vlogged. That was when I made a video telling you guys that I just missed my flight. If you've not seen that video, you can see it now. You guys, I just missed my flight right now. Like, I just missed my flight. So when it was now confirmed that I have missed my flight, I started to panic. It was the first time ever missing my flight. I have flown to so many countries in Europe. I've flown to Hungary. I've flown to the UK. I've flown to Paris, though it was transit. I've flown to Germany, though it was transit. And I've actually been to America, once in 2015, and I did not miss my flight, though I came to America from Hungary. So it was just new to me, and you need to have seen me after telling you guys that I have missed my flight. So I started looking for the customer service, and actually two people directed me. When I got there, this is the most interesting part right now. When I got there, you could hear from my voice that I was panicking, and I met a lady. Of course, she's white, she's British. I told her, good morning, I have just missed my flight. And she said, how, like, what happened? And then I told her, and then she told me that it shouldn't have been so, that did you leave the airport? She didn't really understand my accent, Nigerian accent, but that ain't none of my business. You see me actually trying to switch my accent to a British accent, but anyways, that's by the way. I told her what happened, and then she called someone, and the person said they just moved, that I wasn't there, and I was just tired of explaining myself, coupled with the fact that she couldn't understand me. So it was just like pouring hot water on the grass. You get me? I just stopped explaining, and I asked her, please, ma'am, what is the way forward? And she told me that there is a flight. I was confused. I was like, I don't want to sleep in the airport. God, please, I can't sleep in the airport because I didn't have British visa, so I can't get lodged in a hotel. So that was my initial worry. But after asking her for the way forward, she told me that it's actually a flight to Philadelphia. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the word. I'm just new here. Like, I'm just a new immigrant here. So I may be getting the pronunciation wrong. And you guys know that most people might not understand the way I pronounce, but you either understand it or you put your subtitle on. So she told me that there's a flight going to Philadelphia by 1:40 p.m. Then from Philadelphia, there's a connecting flight to Houston, Texas by 6:55, but I have to pay a certain amount of money. And the initial price was £159. I'm like, how the hell will I get that money? Even though I had some cash with me, but it wasn't mine, and I had some with me, and it was not going to be enough. I'm like, okay, I'm going to pay, because I had some money in my Naira account, like Nigeria. You guys failed me yet again. So I told her, okay, I'm ready to pay. She just said, a moment, give me just a moment. And then she said, it's a good news. The price has gone down from £159 to £59.90. And I was so happy, not knowing that busy is about to happen, not knowing that a more bigger problem was going to set in, was going to happen. And it was now time for me to pay because she was calling someone on the phone that could help book the flight for me, the new flight from London to Philadelphia, from Philadelphia to Houston, right? And this cost £55.90 just because I missed my flight here. I didn't have to pay the full price. So it was time for me to use my card, and I'm like, let me just be truthful here. I had about 28,000 naira, let's say 30,000 naira, and if we change that to pounds, it will be about the same amount. So when I tried my first card, can I use a Verb card? They said no, you have to use a Visa card or a Master or an American Express card, right? And of course I didn't have that. I'm just a newbie, a new immigrant, yeah? So I gave her my first MasterCard. It was First Bank MasterCard. And do you know what happened? Let me come closer. Do you know what happened, guys? It got declined. And I'm thinking maybe it's because I didn't have enough money on that card, but apparently that wasn't the case. It wasn't so. At this point, my husband knew about it, my parents, yeah, and they were telling me, calm down, everything will be okay, and all of that. Have you ever missed a flight before? Scratch that. Have you ever missed an international flight before? If you have, then you will know what I went through. So I told her, I'm like, Mommy, can you send me some amount of money? Let me add to the one I have to see if this will work. Maybe because the exchange rates in London might not be the same as the exchange rate in Nigeria. So she sent me 40,000, and right now I had about 70,000 naira on that card in that account. So I tried again and then it declined, and I'm like, that's it, I'm done. Like, that's it, I'm done for it. And I said, okay, I have another card. This time around it was GTB, Guarantee Trusted Bank, and I had to move the money from First Bank to GT Bank, right? And then I gave her the card to try it. Actually, I tried it myself because the US machine was there, and then it declined. I asked them, please, can you use cash? Like I said, I had some cash with me, and she said, no, ma'am, I'm sorry, you can't pay with cash. And I'm like, oh, wow, so what is the next thing? What can I do? And then she said, mind you, at this point, it was about 1 hour for check-in on that flight to be over. Let me say that again. At this point, I just had 1 hour for check-in to be over on that particular flight. The flight was to take off by 1:40 and boarding starts by 12:45. So right now it was about 12 o'clock, and I didn't even know that they were going to close check-in on time. And if they had closed it and I didn't pay for that flight before they closed it, I hope you understand me, I would have slept in the hotel that day. This was yesterday, May 3rd, 2022. So I called my husband. My husband was at work, but he had to pick up because I'm coming into the country, right? And then they told me that someone have to call them online and pay for the reservation, for the booking. If I don't do this on time, then the flight check-in will be closed. And you guys, he gave us the first number. Okay, he went on the website, he couldn't find the number. Actually, he called them, but they didn't pick. It was the wrong number. So I went back. At this point, the first lady that attended to me had done a shift, had completed a shift. Maybe she went to have lunch, whatever she went to do. None of my business, but she had left me. She left me. So I went to the next guy, the guy that was there, and he was really helpful. He was also panicking with me, like, yeah, you guys, I'm going to tell you guys in the next video my cultural shock. Like, I've not spent a day in America, in the United States, and I've already experienced mad things. Like, I've already been shocked just from the airport. Yeah, this is another topic on its own. I asked him, please, can you give me the number to give my husband so that I can call and pay for the reservation for the flight to Philadelphia and to Houston, Texas, right? And then he gave me the number, but because we were hurrying, we didn't know that we had to add +44 to the number, yeah, because my husband is in the States and then he had to call the British Airway, the UK. So we figured that out. Everybody was tense, my husband was tense, like I had to calm down so that we don't clash and start arguing for nothing. So that was what happened. We figured it out, but now the call was ringing, but after it rings, it will cut because apparently many people are calling them. So, and at this point, it was remaining 10 minutes for check-in to be over. Mind you, before then, I already figured out in my mind that I could ask people to help me pay with their card, since my own problem was that my card wasn't working. My Nigerian card, MasterCards, 2 MasterCards weren't working. Like, it's a shame, but I'm not going to waste my energy to talk on that. No, we ain't doing that. We have moved forward, so let's just keep it that way. So you know what I did? I approached people. I approached the first guy. He was on the same counter with me. Maybe he missed his flight or something. He wanted to ask questions. I don't know. I approached him and said, sorry, please do not be offended. Can you help me? I need your help. Can you use your card to pay a sum of £55.90 and then I refund you with dollars? I don't think I had finished saying what I was saying. He just purely said no. He said, no, I can't. Like, he just said, no, I can't. And that hurt. To be honest, that hurt. But I don't really blame him. Like, he don't know me from anywhere. But I mean, yeah, at this point, I was already getting emotional. But I cannot cry in public. I'm sorry, but it has not reached for me to cry in public. So I went to the next lady, and this time around, she was an elderly lady, still a white lady. I told her, can you please help me? I really need your help. And then she said, no, she cannot. And I'm like, okay, thank you so much for your time. At this point, it was remaining 5 minutes for check-in to be over, to be closed. And you know what happens when check-in for a particular flight closes? That means no one can book that flight or no one can check in online. So guys, what I did was that I started looking for my skin color, right, to see if they will help me, because I'm black, you're black, right? So I saw a lady, she was about entering an elevator. I believe she was looking for a gate. So I approached her and said, hi, good morning. Are you going to board your flight right now? She said, yes. I told her, please, I need your help. I'm in an urgent need right now. Can you help me pay £55.90 and I give you in dollars? And then she said, no, I cannot. I don't have money on my card. And at this point, I just knew that God has to show up for me. Like, I knew the God that I serve. I didn't say served because I'm still serving God. I knew He had to show up for me because He's been showing up for me before now. So like I was saying, I just knew that God has to show up for me. At this point, it was 4 minutes left. And you know, backtrack, before I approached the black lady, I saw a black man, but I knew that this man wasn't Nigerian. He's black American, black British. He was not Nigerian. I saw him seated down and I didn't know how to approach him because I actually knew that my gender was going to fail me, but I didn't think it was going to fail me, but it did fail me, right? So before I approached the lady, I saw the guy, but somebody told me to approach him, but I said, no, I can't. I don't know how to approach him. But after that lady, that Nigerian lady, apparently when we started boarding, it was that same flight that she was going to board on, right? Let's just leave that part for now. So after she declined me, after she refused me, after she said no to me, I had to go to that guy. Somebody just told me, Zina, go to that guy. And that was what I did. I approached him and said, hi, please don't be angry. I really need your help. And at this point, if you had seen me, you know that the tears were just right behind my lower eyelid. And I told him, please, you have to help me. Please, you have to help me. I need your help, please. And Charlie said, I don't know if it's going to work. I said, it's going to work as long as it is a MasterCard or an American card. Please come help me. And he said, okay. And he stood up and came and helped me. Right now, it was almost 3 minutes to check in closure. And at this time, the white guy that was helping me, his system was faulty. So it was the other lady that is black. She became reluctant, saying that she doesn't know if her system is working. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? You also. God, do you know that blacks can be against their own skin color? I don't want to use the word R so that I do not get flagged. Like, at this point, I was just traumatized. Like, what the hell? Like, what are you saying? And then she reluctantly did it, telling her colleague that she doesn't like what he's doing, all of that. You guys, I just kept mute, praying in my mind, or just saying, please go, let this work. And then the black guy, I didn't know where he was from, brought his card, and then it worked. And that was how I got booked on that flight. That was how God miraculously came through for me. So that was how it happened. And I kept telling the guy, thank you so much. You don't know what you have done for me. You are like my savior. Like, you guys, I wanted to hug him, but I'm not a hugger. I wanted to kneel down and thank him, but I will make people to wonder, what is she doing? Like, it would have been somehow like. So after that, the lady was like, the black lady that didn't want to use her computer to book me on the flight, asked the guy, do you guys know each other before now? And we said, no, we had just met him for the first time. And then she said, wow, that this is a great deal. That this is a great thing you've done for her. I said, yes. I actually approached 3 people and they declined. And I just kept thanking him. She was like, that you guys have to exchange Instagram handle. And he was like, maybe. I'm like, whatever. But I was still so happy. Then after everything, they printed my boarding pass, and the guy was like, I should go straight, like I should run. If you see me running to book that flight, like I've never run like that in my life. I'm being dramatic or exaggerating, but I actually ran so I don't miss that flight, and I didn't go anywhere. Though I was pressed, I needed to use the lobby at some point, so I do not wet myself. So after we did everything, I told him, yo, I'm on YouTube. I'm a YouTuber, you can check me. So guys, that was how I got saved. That was how your girl did not sleep in the airport. Like, that 1 hour something minutes was the toughest time in my life. Nigerian cards, failed me. I couldn't call them because I was roaming, and I just thank God for sending a helper. Chaotic flight, but it ended me. I just want to thank God. I think I'm going to be ending this video right now. Thank you so much. I will see you guys in my next video. Until next time, bye.